and let's get this party started. Don't look at the 1 million things I have open. Okay. Can you guys see my screen okay? Because it is deleting me and I can't see you guys. Okay. Okay, well, it's weird to talk to a PowerPoint. So if somebody can't see me, please unmute yourself and tell a girl, because I can't see anybody but my PowerPoint and it's muted.
We can see you.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so tonight we're going to talk about invite strategy, and I know that inviting is like the bread and the butter of what we do. If you're not inviting every day, or you're not getting out X number of invites weekly, your business will not move forward. Like no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You can run the most amazing challenge groups, but if nobody's in them, it doesn't matter. Your business will not move forward. It just won't. So I want to really talk about it tonight, and we've talked about everything that I'm going to talk about. I have said at some point in a call or on a meeting or in a post, but I just want to kind of put it together. So this is nothing fancy. This is nothing earth-shattering. This is very simple, but I want to make sure that we're all on the same page. And if there's something that you need help with, that you're reaching out and you're asking for it. Because if you are not inviting, because maybe you're paralyzed by, you don't know who to invite, you don't know how to invite, you don't know what to say, or you're inviting and you're not getting good responses, and so then you just choose not to invite at all, you're going to be so frustrated in this business, and you're going to end up quitting, to be quite honest, because it's frustrating to feel like you're doing the work but not seeing the result. But sometimes it's just that you're working too hard, or you're doing the wrong kind of work, or you're not being efficient with your time. I have fallen into this trap so much, where I spend all of my time doing the wrong activities, and if they're not activities that are moving your business forward, and you cannot tangibly see that you have moved your business forward every day, then your priorities are misplaced. And you got to switch them up. So before we talk about like what to do, step 1, 2, 3 for inviting, I want to talk about invite setup. So your social content. So if you have vague content on your social media, hold on, I'm so sorry. Let me just make sure this is recording. Can somebody see if it's recording?
It's recording.
Okay, good. Okay. Sorry, I struggle to remember that, and I don't want to forget that. Okay. I digress. So starting with your social content. So any social media platform that you use, whether you use Instagram, Facebook, you use, I almost said MySpace, Snapchat, whatever it is that you use, whatever you're putting out into the universe is your brand. It's who you are and it's what you're doing. And if you are throwing up vague content, which guilty as charged, this is something I focus really hard to change. If you're just throwing up, oh, got my workout in, oh, check out my snack, oh, look at these workout shoes, and you're just kind of like tossing up posts that are super vague and kind of generic to just the world, and while they're great and maybe they're motivating, they're not going to pull in people that are going to be your tribe. And people that are your tribe are people that like, they aspire to be you, in a sense that they're in the same situation that you once were in, and they want to know how you got to where you are, or you're living the same life that they're living. So maybe you're a teacher and they're a teacher. That's a tribe. Maybe you're a mom, they're a mom, that's a tribe. But if you're posting just generically to try to hit everyone or try to please everyone, that's what I used to do, is I would try to post to please everyone, and I was putting, I think somebody maybe is unmuted. Okay. So when I'm talking about your social content, make sure that it is super, is somebody, are we good? Okay. Make sure that it's super focused to who you're trying to talk to. Make sure that you're telling your story, and then you're being genuine, you're being vulnerable. If you have struggled with eating disorders, or you have struggled with weight loss, or you have struggled with gaining weight, or you've struggled with how to eat, having a bad relationship with food, having a good relationship with food, talk about those things. Talk about real things. Because if you just talk about surface level things, okay, I'm going to try to mute. I'm sorry, this is, I can't, let's just mute everyone again. Okay, there we go. So I want you to really focus on the content that you're putting out, because that's going to make a big difference. So when you invite somebody to either coaching or challenge group, whatever it is, if they don't know who you are already, they're going to immediately jump over to your social media page and they're going to check it out. And if your social media page doesn't speak to them and it doesn't make them feel like, oh man, this person is exactly who I need at this moment, you're not going to build the tribe that you want to build. So you've got to focus on that. Get away from vague content. It's hard to do. If you need help, reach out. Inconsistent content equals no trust. If you are up and down with the way that you post on social media, sometimes you post every single day, 3 times a day, and then you go 2 weeks without posting at all, people aren't going to trust you. And when people want to join a health and fitness journey, they are already at an emotional turbulence and they're already, ooh, so they're going to go to somebody that they trust, somebody they can count on, somebody that's constantly in their mind and they know that they're there. And that's going to be you. So you've got to stay consistent. When you're thinking about creating your posts, think about the 3 E's. And Joe talked about this when he got on our call: educate, entertain, and engage. If your post is not doing those 3 things, then you need to rethink your post and don't just throw up something to post. Have a thought behind it. Not that it can't just be, I'm throwing this up for people to get a good laugh. It doesn't have to be like a deep, heartfelt 4-page one to get your point across. Sometimes it's just a good laugh, but it needs to be thoughtful in the sense that you're putting it out for a reason and not just because, oh, I haven't posted today, I'm going to throw this up. And again, we're all guilty of it, but the better that you can be with the content you put out, the better response you're going to be with the invite. And inviting is hard work, so you want to make sure that you're setting yourself up for the best possible outcome. Don't waste time thinking about inviting. I'm not kidding. I don't know how many times I hear, I just don't have enough time. I don't have enough time to get them out. And that is just, it's false. It doesn't take that much time. We spend so much time scrolling through social media thinking about inviting, and we scroll and we think, and oh, I don't know who to invite and I don't know what to say. We spend way more time thinking about it than if we would just get up first thing in the morning and do it instead of scroll through social media. Or as soon as we have a chance at night, do it before we eat dinner, before we work out, before we go to bed. Whatever it is that your time slot is, we all have time. You have to make it a priority. If you want this business to work, you just do. It has to happen, but don't waste time thinking about it. Just take action. And I'm hoping that I will help you up with a better system so that you can take action every day and just do it instead of think about it so much. Mindset. What are your non-negotiables? What's going to happen no matter what? I know for me, I have seen this to be true. If I set my goal at Success Club 5, there's going to be some months where I am scraping by to hit Success Club 5 and scraping by to get 3 new challengers. Because while Success Club is just a number, it represents the number of people that you're helping. And if you've got goals in this business because you want to help people, that number needs to be higher. If you have goals in this business because you want to make money, that number needs to be higher. Because that's how the bread and the butter, and it's a great way to gauge without having to be complicated. Just knowing, if I help 3 people, this happens. If I help 6 people, this happens. So for me, I will tell you, if you set the bar low, it's going to be tough to reach it. If you set the bar at Success Club 20, you might land at Success Club 10, and that's pretty good. But if you set it at Success Club 5 and you end at Success Club 0, those odds are not so pretty. So I want you to think about that. What are you setting your goals are, and what are you doing that you're no matter what will happen? I have been in this business for over 2 years, and I have never missed Success Club because it's never been an option. It's never been a, oops, didn't get it that month, or oop, might not happen this month. From the second I said go, I was like, well, this is something that I just have to do. So here we go. There have been some months that I have got it by the skin of my teeth, but it is a no matter what will happen. So you have to set those for yourself and make sure that your goals are aligning with what you want to accomplish. If you set your bar too low, you're never going to reach it. Personal development. Got to have your personal development. And I know we're talking about invites, not personal development, but if you aren't doing this every single day, your mindset is not going to be in the right place. And whether you think it or not, when you're sending out those invite messages, if your mindset is not in a place of confidence and your mindset is not in a place of, yes, I can help this person, that's going to come across. It just is. It doesn't matter if you took a message that you already wrote and you copy and pasted it. If your mind is not in the right place, you're not going to get good energy back. I know it sounds hokey, but it is what it is. If you're not doing it every day, you're going to get in a funk, you're going to stop inviting, and then you're going to just slowly trickle down. personal development, you got to do it. I catch myself all the time when I'm like, gosh, I'm in a funk and I can't figure it out. My personal development is off. I'm either doing the wrong thing, or I'm not being consistent, or I'm not doing enough of it. You've got to make that a priority because it really helps everything else. Where's your vision board? Is it somewhere you can see it? Because at night when you're tired and you want to lay on the couch and be lazy instead of work your business and invite, you need to look at that vision board. And I know I've said this before. Take one of those things on your vision board and say, yes, I'm going to cross it off because laying on the couch doing nothing sounds better than that dream home, or sounds better than paying off that college debt, or sounds better than helping 100 people. That's something that's on mine this year. So you've got to be willing to cross one of those things off your vision board. But if your vision board isn't in your face every day, it makes it a lot easier to just say, not tonight, not today. And then 3 weeks go by. So you've got to have that up. Lastly, are you confident in what we do? Not in what you do, in what we do as Team VIP. Are you confident in what we offer in our challenge groups? Are you confident in what we offer as a team, as a community, as a business? Because if you aren't, you got to get there. You don't need to be perfect. You could have started this business 2 minutes ago, but you know that Team VIP has your back, and we know what we're doing. We know how to run a successful challenge group. We know how to help somebody be successful in this business. And that means you know how to help somebody be successful in those areas. But if you don't have that confidence about you, you're not going to be successful. So you've got to have that. I know Team VIP is super special. We are really unique in the organization, in the community that we have. So you need to lean on that. You need to be confident in that, because that's not somebody that everybody has. So that's your setup. We got all that handled. Now we move on to the nitty gritty. Number 1, you have to add to your network every single day. Every single day. Literally, when I get up in the morning, right before I hit the ground running and before like my life goes crazy, I add to my network, because it's one thing I can check off my list and I feel like, all right, I'm moving forward, one thing done. Do not go off the suggested friends list, because that's going to end up getting you people that are friends of Team VIP coaches, friends of challengers, and you're just going to end up stepping on toes and mutual friends, and don't do that. Don't friend people that are mutual friends of VIP. Of course, coaches, yes, like we can all be friends because we're coaches, but don't friend mutual friends of other coaches. If you see somebody that is a mutual friend and you're like, awesome, they look totally cool, look at their mutual friends list. If their coach on VIP is also their mutual friend, do not friend them, because then that's that person's prospect. So just don't do that, because it just crosses lines, and just don't do that. It just creates nonsense. So instead of working in the same pool of people and everybody trying to invite 75 people together, get out into your avatar. So who is your perfect person? Are you a mom? Do you love Hobby Lobby? Do you love dogs? Do you love Star Wars? Do you love pickles? Whatever it is that you love to do, that's your avatar. Who do you want? Do you want somebody who is busy and crazy? Do you like, are you more shy and introverted? Or do you like people that are out on the town? Whatever it is that you like, who's your target market? Search for them. Search for them in groups. Search for them in events that you go to. Friends of friends. So if you have your college friends or your high school friends, and they've got friends of friends that might be great mutual friends of yours, or you met somebody somewhere, give them a card, give them your name, Facebook request them. So constantly be thinking of who that network is. If you're at HEB and you see somebody that, you have a conversation with a teller and they seem really awesome, invite them. Say, hey, I'd love to add you on Facebook so we can connect later. I mean, don't be weird, but if you have somebody you have a connection with, be looking for those people, and don't just, get onto Facebook and say, how am I going to find people, suggested friends? Because it ends up getting you in a rut, and that's where you feel like you don't know what to do. So here's some ideas for how to look for people. Your goal is 10 to 30 every day. You have to have more people seeing your posts every single day, because that's just going to build that funnel. And the larger that your funnel is up here, the easier it is to get people to say yes down here. And it takes people a while. Somebody you add to your network today, they may not sign up for 6 months or a year. So you constantly have to be filling that funnel every day so that you're building your pipeline for next year, for the year after that, for 6 months from now. So you have to be thinking in the future, and that's what adding to your network does. So don't think, add to my network, I'm going to message them an invite, and away we go. That's not how it works. That's icky. So don't do that. You're adding to your network to build that pipeline of people who see your content. They start to know, like, and trust you, and then you can build that invite. Step 2, engage. So engaging with people every day, new people every day. So engaging is not inviting. Engaging is getting to know people. So all of the people that are friends in your Facebook list are your warm market. You are friends on Facebook list and they are friends with you. They may or may not be seeing your posts. Every time you engage with them, whether you comment on their stuff, you send them a personal message, you will immediately pop back into their news feed. So if you like or comment on their stuff and then the next post you put out, they're going to see it because you will pop them back into their news feed because people that are engaging see each other's stuff. So sometimes you scroll through social media and you feel like you see the same people's stuff over and over and over. You're not engaging enough. You need to engage with other people. Start with your friends list A to Z and just go down it and just engage with 20 people plus a day. Again, the bigger that you can do there, then you have a better pool of people to invite from. So 20 people a day, I know it sounds like a lot, but really it's not. If you're going and you're liking and don't just like, you want to comment, ask a question, compliment. Hey friend, maybe you added a new friend that, oh my gosh, I didn't even know you were on Facebook. I haven't talked to you in 100 years. How are you? Maybe it's somebody who's a new friend. Hey, so glad we connected. I saw that you were, your daughter is also in my daughter's preschool class. What a small world. How are you? If you have something to genuinely message about, message. I'm not really into like cold messages, trying to start a relationship because I feel like that's weird. I would rather connect on a level that makes sense. So if they have a picture of a cute shirt, that shirt is adorable. Where did you get it? Or, hey, your kid's outfit's so cute. Where'd you get it? Whatever it is, but I don't like to just be like, hey girl, how are you? Like, it's just weird to me. You do whatever makes you feel good, whatever feels natural to you, but you got to engage with people. Running free groups is a great way to engage because it pulls people into your market that might not normally come into your market because they're nervous or they're scared or they're intimidated or they're on the defense. So running free groups of any kind, there's tons of examples in VIP, is a great way to get some people into your circle that maybe might not would have been. And then they go from a warm lead to a hot lead because they are learning who you are, what you do, that know, like, and trust. So your social content is attraction marketing. Obviously the goal, the better that you can create content, the more you're going to have people coming to you and the less you're going to have to go chase them. But again, that comes with being vulnerable and being really authentic with what you're putting out. The thing I really want to stress here, you've got to pay attention to how you're posting and how you're inviting because there's so much going on in network marketing right now, which is fantastic because the more the merrier. I hope everyone has super successful blowing up businesses. However, social media is blowing up at the same time. So everybody is getting bombarded with messages about join my lip sense group. And here's some, I don't even know what people sell, Rodan and Fields. And people are just being bombarded with network marketers. And it's not from a place of like, joy. It's like just bleh, too much. They send messages that are this long from It Works and this and that, and they're just like berating. So then it has people on the defense. They're like, no, I do not want one more message. Do not add me to one more group. And that is what you have to think about when you're putting out content. Because people that are inviting in that manner aren't putting out positive content on social media. They're not putting out things that are engaging and entertaining and educating. They're just putting out pictures of lipstick and then they're throwing you in groups without asking you and then they're like bombarding you with questions. So think about how you would want to be approached if it was you. What would you want somebody to say to you to get you excited about joining a challenge group? What would you need to see on their social media wall to make you feel like, yes, this person is genuine and legit. They're not just trying to sell me something. Because that is what breaks my heart, is that we have like something that's so different. It's, you are gaining a community. You're learning how to eat right. You're learning how to work out and take care of yourself. You're learning a lifestyle that you can manage. Like, it's the best thing ever. But if you come across as somebody who's just trying to sell somebody something, you're going to completely lose it. And it's going to come across as super icky. So who you are on social media matters, because if they already know, like, and trust you from what they see on your social media content, when you send them a message and an invite later on, they're going to know it's genuine and they're going to love to respond, and they're not going to feel like, oh my gosh, another invite for something. So think about that when you do it. Birthday messages are a great way to engage. I don't know how many times I send birthday messages every day, no matter what. Birthday messages go out, A, because it's nice to do for people, and B, it's a great way to engage. I have a lot of people who or respond and say, oh my God, I've been meaning to ask you XYZ. So there's a lot of people out there that want to ask you questions but are a little bit nervous. So you engaging with them opens up the door, but it opens up the door in a way that they have the opportunity to then come to you, and you don't have to be icky attacking them out of the blue. So connections, comment on their photos, engaging of any kind. Goal is 20 plus, super important. Invite step number 3. So this is the actual invite. This is the actual, hey, I've got this going on. I want you to be part of it. I think you could rock this. Here's why. Public invites first. You should be sharing your journey every single day. We've talked about that, so that when you do invite, people already know you. They know what you do. They know your transformation. They know you're a coach. They know you're a mom, or that you're not a mom, or that you have had this struggle or you've had that struggle. If you come across as perfect Polly, you're going to really struggle. You've got to let people know who you are and what you struggle with. Is it time? Is it money? Is it confidence? Is it whatever? But if you aren't real with people, people aren't going to connect with you. So you've got to know that. And your public posts, you have to plan them out. You cannot publicly invite every day, because you are going to freak people out and you're going to scare them away. It's too much. You should be talking about it every day, but not like a hard join my group every day, because that is a lot for people to see. On the flip side, you've got to do it every once in a while, because you don't want people to think that you no longer run groups. So you've got to find that balance and that happy medium to make sure that most of your social media content is helping add value to other people. And then you can publicly invite when it's the right time. So right timing for your group, right timing on social media. Sunday nights tend to be great times for invites to challenge groups, because people are coming off the weekend. They're feeling kind of lousy. They're feeling like, oh, I did it again. I went through another weekend and I ate like junk. I keep doing this, and tomorrow's the day. And so public invites for Sunday evenings tend to work really well. And it really does good for you if you do after a post that you had really great engagement. So if you had a post that had really great comments, really great likes, do an invite post after one of those posts, because everybody that commented and or liked on that previous post will automatically see that next post in their news feed. So just being smart and strategize your public invite post, whether it's for a challenge group or the business opportunity. Just strategize what you're doing. If you put it out there too much, people will just ignore it and scroll through, and they might miss the really good content that you put out. If you never put it out there, people aren't going to know that they have the opportunity to join you. So again, you should be subtly sharing your journey all the time. Talk about your challenge group, talk about your team, talk about what you're doing, but save those direct join my group posts for when it's a good time. And then place it at the right traffic times. Good. Hopefully that helps. Okay, private invites. So this goal needs to match your goals. So I would say minimum of 10 per day, whether it's challenge group, coaching, a mixture of both. Minimum of 10 per day, because 1, you're not going to be perfect every day. 2, you've got to get your business moving. It takes a lot sometimes. Sometimes it's going to take 1 in 50 before you get somebody to say yes. You may have to invite 10 people a day for 50 days straight before you get Success Club. And so you've got to know that you're going to have to invite. If you invite 3 people every day, you might be struggling to hit Success Club and you might be frustrated, but it might just be that you don't have enough people in your funnel. And that's really what I want to get across in this call, is I want you to know that what you're doing might not necessarily be the problem. It might just be the way you're doing it, how you're doing it, how often you're doing it. So I want to work out those kinks, because you can be successful in this, and I want to make sure you get there. So private invitations. Inviting from the list that you engage with over the last few weeks. So for me, what I do is I add to the network, and then they go into my friends list. And then the people that I've engaged with, so 20 to 30 people a day I will engage with. These people, these 20 to 30 that I engage with today, in the next week or 2 will be the people that I invite, because it gives me time to re-engage. It gives them time to see my stuff on social media. It gives us time to kind of form that relationship where, okay, all right, I'm seeing who this person's about. Now I feel comfortable inviting them. But you've got to start that flow so that you constantly have a pool of people to invite from. So you're constantly building that engagement list, because the engagement list turns into the invite list. So then it's this constant flow, and it's no longer who do I invite, what do I say? It's no longer weird, because you have a system moving forward. Hopefully that makes sense. If not, definitely ask me at the end. With your invite messages, be direct and simple. You need to lead the conversation, but let them do most of the talking. And you need to have a system that works for you. I'm going to show you a direct example of a recent challenger that I signed up. And this is a system that I use 99% of the time. So you can actually see the actual conversation. But what's important here is you've got to remember people want to know what to do and how to do it. And they're going to do whatever you tell them. So the more confusing and the more choices that you give, the less often you're going to end with a positive result. You have to say, okay, here's where you are. Here's where you want to go. Here's how we're going to get there. And it's got to be as simple as that. Because if you overcomplicate it and say, what about this or this? What about this or this? What about this or this? It's too many choices. It's too much back and forth. Their excitement will fizzle long before you ever get a purchase made and they ever get on the road to getting their life changed, which is the whole purpose. So here's an example. This person actually reached out to me, but I would have responded the same way if it was somebody that I would have sent a private message. So that message for me normally looks like, hey, so if I was sending it to Valerie, let's say, and she didn't reach out to me, hey, Valerie, hope you're having a great Monday. I wanted to let you know my next challenge group starts up May 22nd. I know you can do amazing at this. Would you like me to save you a spot? And it's literally that simple. I don't really stray from it that often. I keep it very simple, very vague. Would you like me to save you a spot? That's it. If they ask for more info or they send me a message like Valerie did here, then this is how I would respond. So number one, this is important because if I didn't have my content being consistent, this person never would have reached out to me. I've been going to CrossFit for a few months, not seeing results, blah, blah, blah. This girl had followed my post for months and months and months before ever reaching out to me. So that goes to show you that what you're doing on social media really does matter. Even if you think she's never liked a post of mine, she's never commented on a post of mine, but clearly she was watching. And I'm so glad she was. She just finished her first challenge group. She lost like 10 pounds. She's just starting her second challenge group. And it makes my heart so happy because she's in such a better place and she feels so good. Anyway, I digress. So I respond, what are your top priorities? Again, super simple. You can do what are your top goals? Most of the time, I respond this message, the second message, your top priorities with a voice memo. So, hey, I'm so glad you're interested. Can't wait to get to know you a little bit better. Tell me a little bit about your top goals, priorities, what's worked for you in the past, what hasn't, so they can hear my voice and my excitement, and we can kind of go from there. I happen to be, happened to be in an office at the time, so I couldn't voice memo, which is why this is text. So for starters, blah, 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 this is where she's at. So she drops where she's at. And then this middle part, you tailor to them. Who are they? What do they need? And what can you help them with? I have an online fit group, run through Facebook. You can read, blah, blah, blah. And then it goes here. The nutrition is simple and effective. Bottom part here, so she's really struggled and she's worried about workouts. 80% of your results are nutrition, so that's why you feel stuck. So you've got to empathize and say, I hear you. I know where you're at. But we will get you on the right track. We will do this together. Here is what we're going to do. Don't give choices. This is where you are. This is where you want to be. This is how I'm going to get you there. So super, super simple. That's what people need. Okay, amazing. How do I get started? Best bang for your buck, blah, blah, blah. And these scripts are all in VIP, by the way. Yeah, so you can see it trades over here. So I just talk about what you're going to get. You're going to get all access on demand, month of Shakeology. You can cancel the Shakeology if you'd like to, blah, blah, blah. Does that make sense? So don't say, do you want to do it? They're doing it. Of course they're doing it. You have what they need and you are here to solve a problem. So they're doing it. You have to have that confidence. Does that make sense for you? Yes. How do I order? Boom, boom. There it is. That's how 99% of like my conversation flows go. Let's be clear. I'm not saying that everybody signs up and everybody says yes. I'm saying people that are interested, that is the flow of the conversation. I always have people that have objections too, and they end up joining 3 months, 6 months, 9 months down the road, but they always end up joining. They just will if you do all the things we talked about, staying consistent and being real with your content. What if they object? Don't have time. Me either, blah, blah, blah. Here's some examples. I'm not going to read them for you of what you can say if they object. Time and money tend to be the ones where that you probably get the most. Money, that's not an objection. That just means that it's not a priority at this minute. Totally cool. I will save you a spot in the next group. Does that work? And a lot of times they say yes. Or talking to them about how you actually save money. Because truth be told, I literally started saving money when I started doing this because I was using Shakeology. My husband's using Shakeology. We don't eat as much junk. We really pay attention to what we're eating, how we're eating it. And we really do save a ton of money. But I think people think it's going to be so much more expensive and so much harder than they think. So you need to share your story and be real with them so that they understand what they're getting into is not like a money sucker. This is a way to change your life and actually do things better, because you're not going to be stopping every 5 minutes to get food or junk or coffee or this or that. So here's some examples of what to say, but just know if they don't join or they go MIA and they just fall off the face of the earth, don't forget about them. You've got to keep a running list of those people. Go back and re-engage with them. So what they said no, go back and comment on their stuff. I have had this happen a ton of times where I had maybe had like a message thread with somebody where they ended up saying no, and then it happens to be their birthday. I send them a birthday message and I'm like, oh, hey, I talked to that person like last year. And then they're like, oh, thanks so much for reaching out. I'm totally ready now. Awesome, because you didn't forget about them and you didn't stop your journey. You can't stop posting, because all those people that are watching you and all those people that just aren't ready right now, they need you to be their coach when they are ready. But if you're not consistent, they don't know that you're still coaching. They don't know that you're still that person that can take care of them. So even if they don't join right now, they will. But you have to keep going and you have to stay consistent, and you just have to keep inviting, and you have to know the people that you invite today are not going to join today. It's not going to happen. If it does, you can just have yourself a little party, because that is rare and that doesn't happen very often. When it does, it's awesome, but it's rare. It's few and far between. It doesn't normally happen that fast. You've got to build that rapport, build that relationship, and go from there. Final thoughts. Partner up. If you don't have a success partner yet in this business, you've got to get one. Maybe you have one. Maybe you need to try out somebody different. You feel like it's just not quite a good fit. Your business is the most important thing. Your happiness is the most important thing. And your challenge or success is the most important thing. So make sure you have a partner that you feel strong about. But you've got to check in with every day. I tell you, the trifecta, we check in every day and we talk about, did you do your invites today? Where are you at on your invites? Oh, it's 11 o'clock at night and I haven't started, but I'm going to get it done. We talk every day, because if you don't have somebody to push ideas off of or to say, hey, I didn't invite today, who is going to be upset with you if you didn't do it? Nobody. But then you're going to be upset with yourself at the end of the month if you don't have any new challengers, or you feel like your business is stuck, or you feel like you're stuck. So you've got to partner up. Try new things. So this is something that's really important. We are here for you and we want to push you to your limits, but it doesn't mean that we know everything, because Lord knows we don't. You've got to find out who you are, what works for you, what kind of groups do you feel passionate about running, what do you want to pull in for your challengers. Look on YouTube. There's lots of crazy successful coaches. There's lots of crazy successful network marketers. Look on YouTube, find some new fresh ideas. How can I spin social media a different way? There's so much going on social media right now. You have to find a way to stand above the crowd that you feel good about. You can't just be another person on the newsfeed that's like posting a fitness selfie. You've got to be different in some way, not astronomically, but you've got to be you, and you've got to stand out for your people, your future teammates, your future challengers. So think about what you want them to see from you. And if you've not tried something for 90 days straight, you have no idea if it works or not. We are all guilty of this, I know. We try something and we invite super strong for like 3 days and then we are done. And then we're like, well, no one joined, so clearly this isn't working. And that's just boo hockey. Like, you have to give your system time. If you are trying a new system or a new way of posting or this, that, or the other, if you have not tried it consistently, blindly, no thinking outside the box for 90 days, you have no idea if it works or not. And you're just wasting time and you're just reinventing the wheel if you don't give yourself at least 90 days consistency in whatever you're doing. Think about your health and fitness. If you eat healthy for 1 day, are you going to see results? Negative. It's going to take time. It's that compound effect. Every day that you invite 10 new people or 20 new people or whatever your magic number is, you're building that pipeline. And whatever you did 90 days ago is coming to fruition right now. So if you're having great success right now, good for you. You put in the work. If you're not having good success right now, look back at what you did 90 days ago. Are you proud of the business that you were running 90 days ago? Maybe you are, maybe you aren't. Maybe it was mediocre. But if it was mediocre, you're probably feeling mediocre right now. And that's okay, because you can change what happens 90 days from now. You're in control of that. And that's what's important. And that's what I want you to get up from this call is you can't put in effort for 5 minutes every month and then throw your hands up and say, I don't know why this isn't working. Nobody's responding to my messages. Sometimes I'll go a couple of days and I will send out my invites and I will have no responses. I'm not kidding. They're just like, I don't know if they're seeing them. Like, crickets. And then one day I'll send out 10 messages and I'll have 7 people respond. It's just how it goes. But you have to keep going. You can't have one bad day and get discouraged. You can't have one bad week and throw in the towel and then 3 weeks later be upset because you don't have anybody in your challenge group. You've got to own where you are and you have to be in control of where you're going. So I really hope that this helped and wasn't just me like jabbering. So if you have specific questions, now's the time to open it up. But just know you are literally the only thing standing in the way between you and your vision. You can do this. You can do hard things. This business is not difficult. It's not. It's very simple. And being successful is very simple. But being consistent is hard. And showing up every day is hard. And there's going to be some months when it's harder than others. And there's going to be some luck involved. And sometimes you're going to get lucky and sometimes you're not. But the truth of the matter is, over the long haul, that luck will stretch out and you're all going to make it if you stay consistent. So I'm going to exit out of this so I can finally see your faces. If you have questions, unmute yourself and let me know what they are. Oh, I see some of the chatty box. Jenny, you're silly. You know I just get too excited. Do I only engage once after adding to the group and then invite once? Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, hey, Jessica, it's Lauren. I have a quick question about the adding friends every day. So if you're adding like 15 to 20, do you ever worry about getting into like Facebook jail with like adding too many people and like leaving them open? Like, how do you work through that?
So I've not had any experience with Facebook jail myself in that situation, but if you are fearful of that, you can always do like 10 in the morning, 10 at night. And that way you're not like adding a whole bunch, like 1, 2, 3, 4 rapid fire. But normally I'm like scrolling through because I try to check out people to make sure that they're actually somebody that I want to be my friend, not just some wackadoo, because I don't want anybody seeing my social media posts. It's going to be a waste of my time down the road. So I'm always looking for people that I'm like, would I want to go on vacation with that person? That's what I think. Do I want them on the next Success Club trip with me? That's what I think.
Lauren, I can add to that. Facebook always catches me riding dirty because I'm friending like 20 people a day and they're like, make sure you're friending people you know. And I say, I know them, even though I don't. But one thing you can do, what I do, is I go back and I delete my sent friend requests. Because I track, and if it's been over a month and they're not accepting it, I delete it. I can show that real quick if y'all want. Yes?
Yeah, show it.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Because it's way easier to delete from your phone than actually online.
Okay, so when you go to your page and friend requests, see all. And so when you go to view, I can't do it. I have no idea how to do it from my phone. I only know computer. So when you go under view sent, so you have all of your sent. And so what I do is I keep a Google Drive for my business tracker. Here, BB tracker. So what I do is then do Control F. So if like Lauren Hale, let's just say for example, it was, and she didn't see in my tracker, I do like Command F, Lauren Hale. Oh, hang on. Lauren Hale. Okay, then I found her, and that was on April 17th. So clearly, homegirl doesn't want to be my friend. So I'll just cancel a request, and maybe we'll find each other later in life. And that's what I do. So I just don't go deep. I really go and look and see. I give people a month because, some people are bad with it and don't, check it very often. But that's kind of what I've done too.
2 more days and you like.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Any other questions?
I do have a question, kind of what y'all were just saying. There was one time where I was inviting where like it says like people, you have like 42 people in common, and I would just, you know, start clicking people and stuff. But then there was a week where literally I had like 700 people like adding me. Like it was like some weird like stream of things, you know, like I'm nervous to start adding a bunch of people again, because it seems to be where like I'm getting a bunch of It Works, Lip Sense, Roden Fields, like all those people, and it was like overwhelming. Like I had like 60 or more people adding me a day, and they were all with like those kind of companies. And so I'm wondering, like, I just started going to my friends' pages and like adding people that like I might want to be friends with them. Is like, I guess I'm just trying to find like the best way to search for people to add, you know, without, I don't know if that made sense.
No,
but.
totally. I know some people have that experience, and I've seen other people post about that experience too, saying, "Oh my gosh, I'm getting so many friend requests from like a bunch of It Works or Lip Sense or like other network marketing." So I
Yeah.
think that's good. Saying, you know, going through your, you know, your friends and their mutual friends to see, okay, how do I connect with, is definitely a great place to start. And if you have those people requesting you to be friends, just don't accept them. Just delete
Yeah.
them.
But on the flip side, I always friend people from It Works and Lip Sense, because especially It Works and any other like fitness stuff, because Beachbody is better, and it's just a matter of time until they realize it.
And I've had It Works people join my challenge group.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Me
And I'm not
too.
saying you shouldn't have those people, and like, and even if you see that they're part of those situations, definitely invite them to your challenges, because they like Rodan and Fields. I've had tons of people from Lip Sense and Rodan and Fields.
Yeah.
It Works. I've had every network marketing person in my challenge group, so they're definitely great prospects. However, if you're getting bombarded by weirdos, those people feel free to delete. You can kind of filter through. But yeah, I've had all sorts of different businesses in my groups. Other questions? Did this help in any way? Okay.
Yeah, it was great. You're such an inspirational talker. I feel powered up.
She's a preacher.
I struggle to get it, but I was talking to a PowerPoint, so it's really weird. I was looking at the little dot. I was like, where am I?
It is hard. It is hard.
Okay, good. Well, then I will post this recording, but I just really want you guys to know that we can do this. We can do hard things. I know that May has been kind of hard for everybody, but you have to consider there's a million graduations and school is crazy and people are crazy. So don't stop inviting, because they will come around, and you've got to be ready for them when they get there. So keep going, keep inviting. It's 100% worth it. Make it a priority. Don't do anything else until you've done it. If you notice, my PowerPoint today was super boring because I didn't have time, because I had to invite. Couldn't make it pretty. You got to have priorities. All right.
Hey,